Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. You already know what time it is, family. Let's jump right into it and let's go. So, Spy, Spy, Spy ain't playing with us today. Spy ain't playing with us today. Look at that. It's at 517. Family, they told you the market was over. They told you it was cooked. They told you it was done. But the lie detector determined that was a mother, father, sister, brother lie. That was a mother, father, sister, brother lie. Look at that. We got a resistance level all the way up here. I'm on a daily time frame, right? Because we want to zoom out and see where could we head to before we find some structural resistance. About 525 is where we're gonna find some real crazy resistance. The first weak resistance is gonna be in the 519, 521, in that range, like in a box between 519 and 521. But the real level of resistance that's legit is the 525. So we have structural support at 490. So what am I looking at with this? With a play like this, I'll be looking to go further out. Like, you want to kind of use, I don't want to say use your brain, but I do want to say that, right? You kind of want to use your brain and think, how long did it take for us to even get this far, right? I'm going to use this kind of like a ruler. If I can move it around, I can, right? I kind of want to use it, and I'm going to show you something that could kind of help you to pick an expiration date on further out options, right? Family, put the headphones in the chat. I'm going to show you something so simple, and you're going to think to yourself, wow, I can't believe nobody ever said that, right? Watch this. So I'm going to use how long did it take for us to get from this peak to this peak, right? You got to think about it kind of like in science, they call it a wave, right? They call it a wave function, right? So everything in science, and I want to just show you something, wave function. Let me just show you. See if I can find it. Now, I ain't going to try to get all nerdy on you now, right? I ain't going to try to get all nerdy on you now, but I got to show you the science, family. I got to show you the science. So, it's called a periodic waveform, right? A periodic waveform. Ready? You ready? Got your headphones in the chat? Look at this one. This is the simplest one. There's three different periods, like a time period, three different time periods in a wave. So you look at, there's a bottom, and then there's a peak, and then there's a bottom, but there's a distance between this peak and this peak. They call that the first period. There's a difference between this bottom and this bottom. They call that the second period. And then there's a distance between this top, and they call that the third period. So you can see that they're all the same distance, right? If you had a ruler and you measure from here to here, that's the same distance from here to here. And then that's the same distance from here to here. So this is kind of how it looks, right? Where you can see, okay, here we go, from here to here. So they counted that as 4 seconds. Whatever chart this is, it took 4 seconds to get from this first period to, or actually this first part of the wave to the next one. And you see on the bottom, it took 4 seconds from the bottom to the next bottom. So from here, 4 seconds from the top to the next top. Here, 4 seconds from the bottom to the next bottom. So now imagine this third period, right? This third period from this top to this top. Let's see if you understand it. How many seconds should it take, according to this wave, to get from this top to this top? How many seconds? Put it in the chat so I know that you know what you're talking about here and we can move on. I'm gonna give you 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Those of you that wrote the answer 4, guess what? The lie detector determined that you understand what you're looking at here. Yes, you understand what you are looking at. So now let's go and let's use that same idea and same information on the charts so we can see what kind of expiration and time frame should we be looking for this kind of different period to play out again, right? So we're gonna look, how long did it take to get from this peak potentially back to the next peak? We're gonna use this as our ruler, right? This is gonna be our ruler. So if the periods are gonna be the same, like this, from our other support level to here, then we just put it up here. And honestly, depending, I'm on a day frame, I'm on a day time frame, it could take a little bit longer than that. Let me just go back test it, right? AKA go test it back in the past. So like something like this, you see that? You see how it got from this bottom, it went up, and then down to this bottom? And it's never gonna be exact because there's things that happen economically in the market, right? Things that happen economically in the market. So it could be 2 weeks off, a week off, but you see. So then I go from here and I'm checking. Look, you see this level here? How long did it take to get over here? Same, right? So this distance, whatever it is, it's a few days. It could be weeks. Let me just check. This is from, let's just get a time frame on it, right? Because this won't work. From this bottom to this bottom, about June 26th to August 22nd. So about 2 months it took for that to happen. So let's use it, 2 months. This is a 2-month ruler. To get back to this peak could take 2 months. We are halfway there. We are halfway there. So what that means is if I get into a call option and I'm trying to play it to 425, I'm sorry, 525, then I might say, okay, according to this time period, I'm gonna need at least 2 weeks to get 2 months. That's how long this is to get from this peak to potentially get back to the other peak. So now I'm showing you this because I want you to add some science into your trading. Because again, I tell you, you got to trade with your chart and not with your heart. But part of trading with your chart is to understand what you're looking at, right? To understand what you're looking at. So we know that to the time periods on the SPY, and every stock is going to be a little bit different. The time periods on the SPY for it to hit these levels, it's taking 2 months to reclaim previous lows and to reclaim previous highs. So like this, for example, if I say, yo, we could get back up here to 425, I keep saying 4, to 525, and it's gonna take at least 2 months. It could happen depending on what the Fed say, because I always say, include some news catalysts into your charts. If the Fed say something crazy, then they could blow this out of the water, right? But now you're not trading with your heart, you're trading with your chart. The Fed could say, yo, great news, interest rates, great news. And then we could get something like this, which we would love, but we would still win because we're in the right time frame for it, right? It's within our time frame that we was in the call, 2 months. But the same is true. If we got up to this peak and it is maintaining this trend, because that's what we're looking for with when we're losing or using time periods, we're looking for trends, then that means, so this line here is almost where it should end in like a month from now, because we're halfway there. Then I would say, oh, so then we could end up back down here if the market stagnates back in the 400s at the end of the year, right? Closer to Q4, the end of Q3. We could end up back down in the 400s if we maintain this time frame, right? If we maintain this same frame of it's moving to hit highs and lows in 2-month time frames. So make sure that you're paying attention to that. So how to use this? How do you use this information? If you get into a call and you're trying to play it to 425, could it happen tomorrow? Absolutely. Absolutely it could happen tomorrow. But you gave yourself the time to win. So you would say, oh, it's going to take 2 months to get there, back to this peak, according to previous trend data, and the data can change. That's why you want to always pay attention. Okay, I need an expiration since we're halfway there, and this is a 2-month time frame ruler. I need an expiration that's at least a month out to protect me more. And that's for my people who really been having trouble picking how long their options should be. Now remember, your options are, if this is a KGU exclusive, I have not shared this information with people. Your options gotta make sense. Your options time frame gotta make sense. And you gotta know what makes sense. And it's gonna be more expensive the further out you go. But the reason is you're giving the time period more time to play out. So let's use an example. You're playing a call option and you want it to go green. right? Usually you jump into a call, it'll start off red. You jump in, it's red, it's red, it's red, it's red, it's red, but you gave yourself a lot of time. And eventually, if this time period maintains with the same trend, trends can change. We do play the breakouts often when they do change, and then it turns green. And you're like, okay, I gave myself enough time. So your goal now would be before it turns back red, because things happen, right? You get towards the end of the period, and then it can turn around and be red. You say, oh, let me put a stop loss on somewhere in here. So if it turns red, it'll cut me out before it's red, right? Before it's red. Let's say that you got into a $522 call and you gave yourself 1 month out because you're looking for this time period to play out. You're looking for it to go back up towards 525 as long as no crazy news happens. Now you got the time to sit in an option, let the short-term volatility move around. You go green, you see that you got it to a 522, the stock price is 523, you got your stop loss on above your entry price, and then that's gonna help to protect you. So now, that's how you pick appropriate time frames using science, aka understanding how in science you have what they call a time period and understanding how waves work, right? In science, they use charts all the time. So I wanted to just really put this up on your radar and empower you so you can know how to pick much, much, much better option dates, right? I ain't never seen nobody who taught you how to pick an options date, or even based on previous, like, just levels in general. How did I do this? Let me show you from the top real quick. I got a rectangle and I just turned it white. I made a rectangle, I turned it white, and I picture it as a ruler. I'm going back in time and I'm looking for previous lows to the next low. Like this, for example. And then I just size it up. So like these 2 points here, I'll make them blue for you. Here is a low, and then here is a low. And then I use my ruler. Oh, you can't see it. My bad. Let's start it again. I got you. So this is my ruler. It's just a rectangle, right? I just made a rectangle. I turned it white. I look for 2 points that are low on the chart. I see, let me move this. I see a low point here. So I'm gonna grab this one and put it there. I see a low point here, and I'm on the daily time frame. If you look down here, I'm on the daily time frame. I put that right there. I found 2 low points. How long did it take to get from one low to the next low? I go and grab my ruler, which is just a rectangle that I'm using as a ruler. And then I go and I size it appropriately. And I say, okay, this is how long of an option date to get from one end to the next end, according to previous time frames. And then I take it, and I know there's gonna be differences, and I go and back test that same distance. Look, it worked again, the same distance. Look, it worked again, same distance. A little bit different, right? Because there are news catalysts. It's a little bit different, but we're starting to see the period, the time period of how SPY is moving, right? We seeing the time period of how long it takes to get from one dip to the next dip. Some are going to be a little bit longer, but you see how it's close. We're not like way off like this, right? We got a ruler and we back tested it. I just back tested it for you by just finding the trend. So obviously, look, this one let me just go fix it again. I'm going to make it just like this one because I was changing it. So I make it like this one. It took about this distance to get from here to here. And then the same thing from about a little bit longer, right? A little bit longer to get from this low over here. But it gave you a time frame, really. And then from here, because there's always going to be 2 week differences, like I said, 2 weeks more, 2 weeks less. And look. And where did I get that from? Just looking at this one right here. So now I know the distance and time between here and here is what I need. So I look at the beginning, and that's telling me August 4th to October 12th. That's 2 months. That means this ruler is 2 months long. And that's the period that we're getting out of SPY at this current point in time. That's the period that we're getting out of SPY right now. And now I just use that same idea up top and say, okay, if I get an option, I need 2 months for it to kind of play out here to get back. But we're already halfway through, so then I need like a month for it to start to play back. And the only thing that could really mess this up, the only thing that could really, really mess this up, and again, you want to be cognizant of the limitations of anything. The only thing that could really mess this up in today's day and time is this. This man come out saying something crazy, then you'll start to see something change drastically, and you'll see the periods become different, right? The time period will be different. So just know that, family. That's how you gotta pick your dates. Pick your dates using the previous data. But I got you. I got you just like that. So now with that gem, KGU exclusive, baby, KGU exclusive. Let's get into it, and let's go to the 5-minute time frames. Could you put a diamond or a gem in the chat for your boy? Because I really wanted to drop that knowledge on y'all, for real. Put a diamond in the chat. If you go to your emojis and type GEM, you'll see it, baby. Gems for you. Gems for you. I'm telling you. I got you. I got you, for real. Loving a lesson. Appreciate you, family, for real. This is good. That's what I'm talking about. So now, with that being said, let's go to our 5-minute time frame. Shout out to the family. I appreciate y'all. Again, I'm trying to give you the tools to really succeed in this world and to be able to pick an expiration date that has the appropriate time to play out based on the charts, not based on, I think I want this one. I think I want this one. Should I get a week or should I get how long you think this will take to play out? No, instead of asking yourself that and asking other people that all of the time, you say, you know what? I'm going to go get a rectangle. I'm going to make it white, and I'm going to go and check. Do you think I need, what is the distance? 5 months for this to play out, Keenan? Do you think I need 5 months? I say, yo, what is the time period that it took to get from one peak to the next peak? What is that, right? Go and check. Go and check. Go and back test it. Go and grab that, and then go and back test it. Look, from this peak right here to this peak right here, you see these two like blue circles? Okay, how long did it take for that to play out, right? How long did it take for that to play out? Basically like this. Okay, that worked. Go and back test that. Go and back test that. Are you within 2 weeks of error, like for that to work out? Okay, maybe a little bit. Now we starting to see something, right? For things to play out, we starting to understand. And then you go and check, how long is it? From October 9th to, in this one, to about December, right? So it just takes 2 months. That's the time period on the SPY currently. Things do change because you know who. But for now, that's how it's currently playing out. So use that gem, in my opinion, to strengthen your ability to pick better expiration dates. So now with that lesson out, it's time. And yo, shout out to y'all, man. The gems is coming in. That's what I'm talking about. Don't give a man a fish, teach him to fish. That's what I'm talking about. You know I'll give you a fish too, family. For real. For real. Now, 5-minute time frame. Let's go to it. Let's see if we can get a breakout or a breakdown. Let's throw the gamble zone up in here. And we are above our 200 EMA. Shout out to the family, man. Throwing the gems in the chat. For real. Appreciate y'all. Love teaching y'all how to work this. For real. Trudy, thank you for that. This is awesome. Transfer of knowledge. It's so important. So important to arm yourself with these types of things. I'm trying to, you said KG was worth every cent. I appreciate you for that. I'm trying to arm you with things that you would have not had otherwise. Gamble zone, let's throw her in. we can see that we got a hard resistance at 518. We have a weak support, but it's kind of confirmed in two ways. It's at 516, actually 517. Weak support at 517. Technically, it's 516.95, but we're going to call that 517. So between 517 and 519, this is the band in which we are trading in, right? Oh yeah, also, you can use that same kind of concept on shorter time frames, but you just got to realize that you're doing that. So like, let's say that we jump into a, you really got to see it though, right? You got to see it kind of happen. Let's say we jumped into a SPY call during the day. So you see this gray like box, and then this is a black box, and then this is a gray box. This is the pre-market, this is the open market, and then this is the aftermarket. Let's use that same idea again. Let's say we wanted to jump into a call today. How long could it play out? You look for the time periods that it takes to get from one bottom to the next or one top to the next, and there's gonna be differences. But generally, you're not guessing anymore. So now look at this. To get from one bottom up back to a retest, this took from, look at the time, so 9:35 to 11. So an hour and a half. So it looks like the time periods, at least yesterday, were about an hour and a half, right? So if I move it over to get from one bottom to the next, look, just about an hour and a half. So it took an hour and a half for this thing to play out. What about the peak? This peak and that peak. I move it, right? It fits. It's never going to be perfect because it's in one day, but it's fitting. An hour and a half. So now this one's going to be a little bit different because it shot up, right? It kind of broke out. But look at how long it took to break out from this peak to this peak. An hour and a half. So intraday, during the day, on May 6th, the time periods of movements were 1 hour and a half. Some of them are going to be an hour and 20. Some of them are going to be an hour and 50. But you see now the time periods, scientifically, you didn't have to guess. We used it scientifically by just learning about time periods, right? Learning about how time periods work. So now you can use that same thing. And if the trend happens like it was yesterday, you just transfer it over and say, okay, will this same time period work? And it very well could. We're still like halfway through it. It still very well could for it to play out. So, but it's going to be a little bit different because the time frames are so short compared to the big one that I was showing you before. But when you identify these things, you start to see, how long do I need to be sitting in this trade? For 2 months? Oh, no, no, no. Now I'm in a day trade. Now I'm on a 5-minute chart. How long do I need to be sitting in this trade to give it the time it needs to play out? Oh, I need an hour and a half. So now, with that being said, we got the gamble zone, and now we're just gonna go back to our regularly scheduled programming. So I really appreciate y'all. I'm telling you, I'm trying to really, 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 really put y'all up on game. So now we got the regular. Let me go grab my other information too, because I want to keep that. We got our support. We got our resistance. We need our RSI to make sense. Yo, family, I need some tea. Freaking I need some tea. Sometimes talking a lot for like a live stream, it just kind of take away from your voice. And you know me, I don't be doing that do re mi fa so. I don't be doing none of that. You know what I'm saying? Let me go grab these so I can be on point and using the chart, not my heart. Okay, so I got my support level on my 5. I got my resistance up here. Where my 30 at? All right, when I see things like this is when I start to see an A plus trade, right? I want my resistance level. I want to break above it. I want my RSI to be between 50 and 69. And I want to see a green candle above that blue line. When I see all of these things happen together, I know I'm looking at an A plus trade setup. I know I'm looking at an A plus trade setup. For example, I see a green candle that's over here above this resistance. The RSI is between 50 and 69. Oh yeah, you don't always see them, but when you do see them, you know you're looking at gold. Now, remember, sometimes there are false breakouts. So there's a such thing as fool's gold. So you got your stop loss on to make sure that you don't get cooked up like people who got into them Disney calls and bet the house on it. They bet the farm on it. So this is what I want to see. Resistance with some RSI weakness. RSI weakness is between 30 and 49. Break below that support level, this blue support level, break below that. See that RSI in a decent range, which again, you don't always get these things all three to line up. But when you do, you know you're looking at a high quality trade. Awesome. I got you, family, for real. I got you. Yo, Travis. Shout out to Travis, man. That YouTube live was on point. I appreciate you, big dog, for real. For real. I believe that you could be a millionaire. I want to see it. I know it can happen, but it's not gonna happen by luck. It's gonna happen because you believe, and then you're gonna achieve by doing what you gotta do. That's how we gotta do it. Nothing is ever gonna happen to you sustainably because you're lucky. It's gonna happen because you deserve it and you earned it. And to be honest, you know, if you won $1 million, you would feel good. Like, yo, I feel real good about winning that. But if you knew how to earn $1 million, you would feel great. Why? Because it's repeatable. It's repeatable. Winning the lottery, it ain't repeatable. It's still who? Come on now, who don't want to win the Powerball? Who don't? Let's not fool ourselves. Who don't? But imagine you knew how to make $1 billion, you would feel even better because they couldn't take it from you. They couldn't destroy you. So now, what I'm doing here is I'm just drawing zones so you can see. And again, the technicals win again. To be honest, we could have did this earlier, but I had to teach you that lesson about different time periods. Look at this. The technicals win again like they always do. When you look where the seller's zone, this is a seller zone. And today I'm a label, right? I'm a label stuff. I don't be labeling stuff every day. Seller zone. Because they be jamming up my computer sometimes. But the seller zone, and look, the technicals win again. It went up into the seller zone and it started to come back down. Now let's put the buyer zone. Now, one thing that buyer zone, one thing that I'll say is things have really been playing two ways. They've been playing towards the upside, and support levels have been respected in a way that I have not seen in years. Like supports have really, really, really been getting some respect. All right, let's see. You said theta kills? Yeah. My dog said he had 5 Disney calls and sold them. You got smoke? It happens. It happens. It happens. You said this would be saved to your watch later? That's what I love. That's what I love. I'm really trying to drop the gems on you, family. I really am. But look, the technical's winning again. But both things are making sense. The sellers are up here. We know that. However, We know the sellers are there, but the support, the buy zone, has been so strong. So like, let's say that I wanted to get into a call. Since I know that we got this little time period here, right? Like we talked about just a second ago, the time period from one peak to the next is about, let's see, this is from about 9:45 to about 11:30. So the period again, the time period to get from one peak to the next peak, it is currently the same as yesterday, an hour and a half, just about. This was an hour and 15, but you could see that it didn't take 20 minutes and it didn't take 5 hours either. It was much closer to the 2 hour or the hour and a half period that we expect based on yesterday's movement that we discovered to make our ruler with, right? So, but for this one, I'm really feeling playing stuff towards the upside for an overnight hold. Oh yeah, that's crazy too, right? That's something to think about. So now that we come in, I'm gonna bring this back up, right? I'm gonna show y'all a few things, but first I'm gonna look for a trade that I want to hold for like a month. SPY, ticker symbol SPY, and remember, holding things out for a month, it makes it so your premium that you got to pay is more than if you got it for the same day. So I want to go and see. I'm gonna open my calendar up and see what is a month out, right? What is a month out? May 7th, June 7th. I want to look and see for a Friday though. So yeah, that's going to be basically June 7th. I want to see what the options are for June 7th for the SPY. And I'm looking for the 519, 520. I want to see what they cost. The 520 costs 725, 728. It's in that range. The 520 call for June 7th is $720. What is this telling me? That it's going to give me, if I get an option that's 2 weeks out, I want to hold it for half the time, right? Or less. So if I get it for 2 weeks out, I only want to hold it for 1 week. If I get it for 1 month out, then half the time I want to hold it for like 2 weeks. If I want to hold an option for a whole 2 months, then I need to make sure that time decay isn't going to be eating it up by the time I want to get out. So I want to give it at least double the time that I want to hold it. Or if I want to hold it and get a June 7th, that means I want to get out not in June 7th, not even in June. I want to get out like May, late May, like 14 days from now, like like 2 weeks from now. Yeah, I'm talking. That's what I'm talking about, family. So you treat these live trade sessions like your job. I'm really trying to put you up on a game, family. I'm telling you, there's so much money to be made. So much money to be made. So now I'm looking at this one, and to make the options cheaper, you get either a further out the money. So if I'm looking at the 420 and you looking at the 430, same date, yours is going to be cheaper. If I'm looking at the June 7th and you're looking at something in May for the same strike price, yours is going to be cheaper. So, okay, I'm looking at that 420, it's 700. I could technically try to trade today and jump into a trade like now, but I like to play the breakouts because they're much more reliable than trying to play in the gamble zone, because that's what it is. It's the gamble zone. The sellers are here, the buyers are there, they fighting for, it's a freaking war in there. So with that being said, we're looking for these two levels of support that are right under us to either be rejected or to be respected. The first one is this 48 EMA, this yellow line. Respected means it bounces off of it. Rejected means it just powered through it and confirmed below it. So something like this, right? Like powered through it and confirmed, closed out below it on a 5-minute time frame. Respecting it would mean it might touch it, but it'll keep going back up. Then we got our second level of support. So the first one is this yellow line, this blue line. So there are 2 levels of support down here in the buyer zone, which are showing us that she still got some left in the tank, family. She still got something left in the tank. But it might not play out today. If it does play out today, based on what we did, it'll play out in an hour and a half. But we haven't even got back to the bottom yet. Which, did I delete that thing? I did. Like the hour and a half time frame that I had before, like this. Right? Let's see. 45 to... Yeah. Right? So come down somewhere in here. If it retested it, come down somewhere in here before 11:30 Eastern, and then go back up, right? And this could be it, right? We could bounce off of the 48. I want to see what's happening. We got some buyers trying their best to push her back up. So now what I want to do is show you, while we're waiting for that to happen or not, this AI bot that we've been working on in the Patreon, so you can see how to use it and how to really get busy. Look at this. So it's called AI Technicals, right? It's at the bottom of the Patreon in the premium bot alerts. Check this out. You could get charts, supports, and resistances like this. So I press backslash, and you see what popped up. It says chart SR. That's chart, support, and resistance. So then I could type it. I could type it, chart SR, but I gotta click this little prompt that pops up. I gotta click on it, right? Click. I gotta click it, and then you see this little black box pop up that says ticker. I'm gonna put in Apple, AAPL, and look, Apple popped up right there. I can click Apple, but what if I wanted to look at Tesla? TSLA, Tesla popped up. I click Tesla, and watch what it does for me. It populates in here. So chart, support, resistance, and then I just press enter, and it's gonna do the support and resistance on a chart for me in these levels. All of these levels, if I clicked in here, and you can see it, you zoom in on your own, but it's telling me all of the levels on the daily time frame. All of these like purplish, bluish kind of letters here. So I'm gonna show you that one more time. I'm gonna use Apple this time. So I go in here, I press backslash. Backslash opens all of the bots on Discord. All of the bots that we have, it opens them up. Like it gets their attention. And then I start typing words that they know, like chart, CHART, SR. And it's like, oh, you're looking for this, right? It's asking me, am I looking for this? Yes, I am. So then I click it, and then I type in the ticker that it wants, or that I want, AAPL. Oh, I put PK. It didn't pop up. See, no match is found. So L, Apple. I click it, and now it's here waiting for me to press enter. And I press enter. And this is working, it's thinking. Oh wait, somebody else got in the way, and it skipped mine, or mine went up after theirs. So look, Apple, it's showing me the supports and resistances. 174.38 is a resistance. 180.17 is a resistance. Now that's just one thing that this bot can do, right? And you already got access to this. So I press backslash. Check this out. ECON. Econ calendar, and it tells you what it is right here. Displays economic calendar of events. So I click that, and it populates down here at the bottom, and then I press enter. And now it's just thinking, and it's telling me what is coming up. So events, Reebok, right? Or I'm sorry, Red Book. I said Reebok. I'm reading that way too fast. Red Book, year over year. That's some economic data that's gonna happen. We got an FOMC member who's gonna speak, right? We got the short-term energy outlook, the 3-year note auction, consumer credit information for March is coming out, right? API, weekly crude oil stock, right? We're gonna hear this kind of stuff. So if FOMC was coming up, then it will pop up in here, right? And these are the times of the day that all of this stuff is happening, right? So now it can do even more. So let me show you this. Let's say you wanted to see numbers instead of a chart like this, right? You didn't want to necessarily see the chart. You wanted to see numbers. You press backslash, and then you press TA, and you see this pop up here. It says TA, backslash TA. Display given stocks technical analysis summary. So then I click it. So now it's asking me at the bottom, what ticker? I'm going to use AAPL, enter. And it's going to give me it's called a table, but just a group of numbers. So I see all of y'all in the chat right now, in there. But this is mine, Apple. The last price was 183. That's the last time that they went and rechecked it. The first resistance is 184.35. It's having trouble getting above that. If it does break above that, it's going to head to the second resistance, which is 185.71. It has a support level at 182.19. If it breaks, it's going to break to the next support level of 181.39. And then it's showing you the Fibonacci levels, the 52-week high, the 52-week low, the 50 EMA, actually simple moving average, and then the 200 simple moving average. So then there's one more thing I might have wanted to show you, and that was, so the econ data. Oh yeah, so you know how they tell you, is Nancy Pelosi buying or what politician is buying? You could check that stuff here too. It'll tell you who bought recently and what they bought. So you go to backslash, and then you write, I think it's gov. Yeah, here we go. It says, so check this out. Remember, the backslash, it awakes all of the bots. And then you start to type something that it understands. GOV. So look, we're looking at this bot, and it can tell us government contracts, the top 15 government contracts that they just got into, or the House displays representatives of the House and ticker symbols that they bought, or the Senate displays recent Senate trades for all tickers, right? So let's look at the House, because Nancy was in the House. So I'm going to click House, and it pops up on the bottom, and then I'm just going to just go with enter and just see what happens. Tell me what the Senate or the House. Okay, here we go. So here's some stocks that the House of Representatives. So Virginia Fox, Mark Green, Jonathan Jackson, all these different people. Jonathan Jackson again. So they're buying this ticker, ET, NGL, JPM, right? And it tells you, what did they do? Did they buy it or did they sell it? Right? So boom, there you go with that. And then our other AI bot, which just sends you plays, right? It just sends plays, play after play after play. This is the Bullseye bot, and he'll tell you, all right, for SPY, the strike is 518. What is it going to do? It's a call, buying it. They're buying it, and it has 71% confidence. I only consider these that are 65 or 71 or 70% confidence, right? 65 and up. 70 is better, because sometimes it'll show you a trade that the charts ain't lining up totally. So the QQQ strike, they got into a put. It was a buy. They bought a put, and the AI confidence is under 60%. So I would ignore that. I will only look at the ones that are like 70% and up. And look at this. It tells you how much money was spent on it. They spent $500,000 on a 518 strike with the expiration of May 7th. So today, right? So then these bots are they basically gonna give you all kind of family. I'm trying to really load you up. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to load you up and give you the most bang for your buck that you ever seen for the money that you paying. $10, $5, $15, whatever you paying. I'm trying to give you the most bang for your buck. There are people who was telling me, Keenan, your Discord, KGU, I've paid $1,000 and I haven't been getting none of the stuff that you teach or do. None of the bot alerts, the premium bot alerts, because I'm paying for all of this on a yearly subscription. Right? It's like thousands of dollars a year. But I feel like, oh, if I give you the value, then you win and I win, because you now want to stay a member of KGU because you feel like it is giving you so much value, right? That's how you win. Like with Amazon, you got an Amazon Prime membership, and Your Prime membership is giving you stuff the next day, in 2 days. You know what I'm saying? The returns is so easy with Amazon. So you could trust that they're not stealing your money on the internet. Back in the day, you couldn't trust that. Everything was a scam on the internet, but now you can buy stuff on Amazon and it's not a scam. So you get value out of that, so then you'll use it. So then I'm trying to get you the most possible value you could get for the price that you're paying. To be honest, I promise you that if I was starting this off with KGU and I'm like, yo, it's $500 one time, people would have been like, oh yeah, boom, right? Especially if they would see what they're getting out of it. But I'm not even doing that because I want everybody to have access to the most powerful tools that is in the game, including one of the most powerful tools that you ain't seeing nowhere. I will trade with you on a live stream. I will trade with you on a live stream. You see what I'm saying? I will trade with you on a live stream. Nobody is really doing that. So now I say that to say, oh yeah, let me just end it out with this. I'm not going anywhere, by the way. But and then on top of that, I'm giving you the watch list, right? I'm giving you the watch list of what to look at. My people who buy stocks, I hit you with the Trident. My people who doing the options, ARM, Tesla, Mara, right? We're looking at that. Real simple to see. Plays, play after play after play. You looking for plays? KGU got you. And then, like I said, the trading, stock buys of trading. Bought it at 682. Our stop loss is now raised. Oh no, this is the stop loss. We bought it even better than that, right? Let's see. The purchase was at like 670, but now the stop loss is above that. So we straight. Playing with like options step by step of the way. Come on, man. Actually showing you this is one of the major things that I started to do because I felt like everybody needed to see it. Showing you the exact dates and times of purchases and the exact entry, right? Like you ever get to an option with me, if you ever actually went in with me, you know, I tell you the price that I got in, the exact price, and then the exact time. Because people never do that. And then exactly where my stop loss is. So like something like this. SPY, risk level high, entry 580, initial stop 478, and then profit target between 506 and 508. And we look at the profit target, we blew past it and are at 517. So come on now, I hear you, man. I appreciate you. I really do. I really do. I really do. I'm trying to give you the most and the best value. And every single day, I'm working to do more and more and more to give you more value the way that you can perceive it, the way that you perceive it. So family, when I tell y'all at the end of the videos and I'm like, yeah, I love y'all. Take care. Like I mean that. I mean that from the bottom of my heart and everything that I got. I mean that. And I'm trying to show you through my actions, not just through what I tell you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know I love y'all. No, I'm trying to show you. I'm trying to really show y'all. So I'm telling y'all, man, it's real. It's real out here. It's real out here. So with that being said, we still in the buyer zone, in the gamble zone. The RSI right now is 54. So I'm not opposed to buying that option that's a little further out. I'm not opposed to buying it. That 520, that, what day was that? Let me see. I think I did this, right? So yeah, you see this is kind of playing out low, and now it's kind of hitting another low. So as long as we don't get no crazy economic data, we should be straight. But hold up, let me see something. All right, I'm not opposed to getting that 520. The only thing that I don't like about the 520 is this. Oh wait, let me answer that. When could you get a crash course on how to use Mumu? So I got one. I got one for you. You can look it up. You bet. You better not cry. You know I love y'all, man. Prez, I'm trying to get on your stream, big dog. I'm trying to get on your stream, and we might be able to do that tomorrow. So hit us up. Hit us up, man. Hit us up. So I might be able to do that with you tomorrow. So, all right. The 520, I think that one costs $700. Remember, if you want it to be lower in price, then what you got to do is get a date that is further or closer Get a date that's closer, or get an expiration. Yeah, expiration is the date, right? Get a date that's closer if 700 is too much, but understand you're taking on more risk. And on top of that, you can get a strike that's further, like a 530, a 540, or something like that, but you're taking on more risk. Like, yeah, I appreciate you, family, for real. You say you need a crash course for Discord? Family, I'm telling you, like, KGU is dynamic, so it changes all the time. But a lot of the things that you ask, you shall receive. So let's go here. In the Discord, right? At the very top, I have something called How to Use. And it's a video of me walking you through the Discord. However, it's dynamic, right? So it changes, the Discord changes. So this is from May of 2023. But it's very similar. But if you go in there, you're gonna get the basic idea of all of this stuff, right? You're gonna get the basic idea of all of this stuff. But again, you ask, you shall receive. Some of the stuff you already got. While we still in the gamble zone, and I'm still gonna wait to see if we can touch the support, I want to explain this to you as well, because I'm gonna send you $500, $300, $200, or whatever, $100, depending on a few factors, because there's a challenge we got going on right now. Again, we're gonna look at this while we wait in the gamble zone for now. I'm losing my voice, but I got you. So I want to explain this briefly. This is the $10 tech challenge, right? The tech stock $10 challenge, and this is how it works. It's actually extremely simple. I challenge you to invest $10 into a tech stock every day that the market is open for 10 weeks. So basically 50 days in a row. For 50 days in a row, you invest $10 into a tech stock. And I'll just read it again. I challenge you to invest $10 into a tech stock every day the market is open for 10 weeks in a row for a chance to win $500 from Keenan Grace. I'm talking about I'm going to Cash App you. I'm going to Cash App you or send you it on PayPal. So of the finalists who complete the challenge, that's how you become a finalist. You complete the challenge. You did this for 50 days straight. So if you ain't put your $10, do it. 50 days straight. And you can still start today if you haven't started. Of the finalists who complete the challenge, 10 people will be selected at random. So I'm going to put 10 names into a random generator. Or I'm going to put all of the names into a random generator. And then it's going to pick 10 to be paid cash prizes via Cash App or PayPal. I'm talking about I'm going to hit you with some bread, right? And then the cash prize for the first winner is $500 in a video or audio call with Keenan Grace. So if you want to get on like a Zoom with me or a video call or audio call and chop it up with me about stocks I'm looking at or your millionaire plan or whatever you got going on, I'm there to coach you. I'll talk to you, right? I'll give you that. You're going to get $500 and you're going to get that. So basically, you invested $10 for 50 days straight. That's a $500 investment, and I'm going to double it. I'm going to give you a 100% ROI. One person is going to win that one. The next is going to win $300, $200, and then 4 through 10 is going to get $100, right? They're going to get $100. Those are the cash prizes plus a video call for the first grand prize winner. There are only 2 requirements. The first requirement is you be eligible, or for you to be eligible for the prizes is this. The challenge got to be completed on Mumu. The reason I want that is because I want you to update the information that you have. A lot of us is locked in to Robinhood. A lot of us is locked in to Webull. And then you missing out on the earnings calendars, the news. You missing out on the new price targets that just pop up. And you're like, oh, here we go. You miss out on so many different things. The trailing stop loss on options, right? You're missing out on these things. So I want you to take it slow, right? Take it slow. Deposit $100 into Mumu, and then just start using $10 of that to just a day. And you're easing your way in to a premium trading app. Premium trading app. And then the next thing, so you got to do it on Mumu, and you got to have a Cash App or PayPal account so I can pay you, right? Have that. So then once you're doing that, the instructions are clear and simple. Step 1, if you do not have a Mumu app, use the link and download it and fund it with $100. Boom. Download it, fund it with $100. It's going to be in your account, and then they're going to send you free stocks and all of that. Submit this form today. and then email or post proof of at least 50 consecutive $10 investments by January or July 31st, right? And then once you do these three things, you are going to be entered into the people who finished it, and then 10 of those are going to get the prizes. It's going to be picked at random. How quick is this form to fill out? So quick. What is your Discord username or your initials? Tell me right here. What tech stock of the Mag 7 do you pick? Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, Google, Nvidia, Meta, Tesla. And then this. Enter the draw for the cash prize when the challenge is done by emailing proof of completion to Lisa Joy Stacks Gmail by this date, or by posting proof of the challenge into the challenge chat on KGU and tagging K Grace Admin by July 31st. You still got time, even if you have not downloaded Moomoo yet. You still got time to download it, deposit, wait for it to clear, and start. Right? You still got all of the time. So I'm trying to encourage you to really step it up, because again, family, if you in here, if you in the chat and Robinhood, no disrespect to Robinhood or nothing, because they got their uses, right? They got their uses. If you have tried to stop loss or you have tried to do something and then something funny happened, right? Family, I want you to stop letting these things hinder you from becoming the advanced trader that you will be. I believe that. So you say, yep. If you want to also do something on another account in order to win this one, yes, it's for Moomoo. I'm going to actually share this link in the description right now. Or actually, I'm gonna share right here. This is the link, and I'm gonna pin it so you can go there and open it up basically right now, and then start the challenge. So with that being said, family, let's go back to Webull and let's see the Webull desktop app and see this playing out. So she's still in the gamble zone, but she is respecting, like I said, one of the supports, which was the 48. She's respecting it. She's respecting it. And what's crazy is, and I deleted it because I didn't want to have too much stuff on the screen at once. This time period that we talked about, it was respected again. Like an hour and a half or so. From this peak to this peak, right? This peak to this peak. And if I move my ruler from this low to this low, look, it respected it again. I'm really trying to put you up on game, family. That's nuts. That's nuts. So now we want to see if we could just get a breakout. But let me go back to that 520 call and see how much it has changed. For June 7th. So it changed, but it didn't change much because the ones further out, they move less. So not too long ago, it was 720, and now it's 737. Today build is crazy, I know. Yeah, some funny stuff be happening, man. Funny stuff, it do happen. $5 slippage is crazy. Watch out for slippage. Always account for that. Yeah, Google does qualify for the challenge. Google does qualify for the challenge. It's one of the Mag 7. If you ever unsure about something, just go to open up the Google Doc on the challenge instructions, and it'll answer every question you have, or tag me in the question. All right. So now, I'm probably going to jump into this one. It's kind of moving, though. It costs 714, 741 now. Pumping, pumping. I'm going to set a buy order and see if I can get in or not. I'm going to set my buy order for like 5. This is the June 7th, 520 strike. June 7th, 520 strike. I was going to try to set it $5 below, but I might just do a market buy, set it and forget it. The only thing that I don't like is I don't want to buy a call next to a resistance. I don't want to do that. Even though it is longer out, I don't want to buy a call next to a resistance. So it's kind of slowing me down from doing it. But we might get a breakout and be in a shorter trade. That makes sense. All right, great. Lisa, this is a great question. When the volume is low on those far out ones, can you get stuck and not be able to sell? On a stock, a stock that is not a popular stock, yes, 100% you get trapped. However, on the SPY, never in the history of trading has somebody been not able to liquidate a SPY option. You could sell at a loss, that happens, but not being able to get out of it, nah, because the Wall Street traders, right, they trade in the SPY, right? There's everybody in Manhattan is trading SPY. Everybody at the Chicago board, they trade in the SPY, right? Or SPY-like things. It could be SPY, it could be SPX, but they trade in that. So something like the SPY, if it has low volume, it'll pick up. It'll pick up. That's just how I go. I say 99.999% of the time. There's never going to be a guarantee on the market, but the high majority of the time, that's how it's going to roll. So now we on the gamble zone right now. This option that I'm looking at is five. I keep saying 750. We're on the top of the resistance, so it has not confirmed out yet. This candle could, and we could technically play it hot. I generally don't. I haven't played it hot in a minute. Playing it hot means I don't wait for confirmation. I just do it, right? Just jump. But that is higher risk. But when you have higher risk, you have higher reward. So what I'm going to do is I'll go 2 weeks out from now. Give myself some time. 2 weeks out from now is the 21st. So I'll look at May 24th. May 24th. And I'll look at the 5. That's why I'm saying 5. I'm looking at this big 5 on my screen right here. And thinking about the strikes. The 520. So the 520 cost 520. Now it's 530. But the expiration is in 2 weeks. Let's see how much it's moved today. 13%. Yeah. So it's moving, but it's not moving crazy like that. I'd rather get something with a lower theta. Yeah, I'm really losing my voice, family. All right, yeah. So I'm gonna go to the 7th of June and I'm gonna buy one of those options. Just one. And hold it overnight. And put a stop loss on it. So June 7th, 520. I'm gonna go with the 521. 521, June 7th. I'm gonna buy one of these contracts. It's currently 707. I'm gonna buy one now. If I have to buy another one, I'm willing to buy another one. But for now, I'm gonna buy one. I'm trying to get it under 710 per contract. Okay, I'm in. I was able to get in. I think. Let me check my order book. No, I'm not in yet. It's still in my order book. See if I can get in. I might have to shift it up 1 penny maybe. Still trying to. All right, I'm filled. I got filled at 707. I'll show you my order and the time on Keenan's trades. All right, so I'm in at 707. The current price is 707, 706. So now I'm gonna put a stop loss on it. I gotta think. So I got one contract. So this is gonna be beyond easy to put a stop loss on because I only got one contract. Now I could think of it like a stock. I don't gotta do no math or nothing. Or no like multi-step math, just simple subtraction. Let me share this with you first. Oh no, I sent it to my other laptop. Let me send it to the one that I'm on in front of you so I can show you the play. It's on KGU already, right? In Keenan's Trades. So you go there and look. But let me actually just pull this up so you can see it on the live stream as well. All right. Screenshots. Here. Okay. So if you take a look, notice that I bought it at 707. I did this at 10:57 in 50 seconds. So basically 10:58. The current price is 702. So now that I got this at 707, I want to think, how much money am I willing to risk to trade this, right? How much money am I willing to risk to trade this so I can put my stop loss on and walk away, right? Put my stop loss on and walk away. I got a whole month, but I don't plan on holding for a month. I plan on holding it maybe either until I'm profiting a lot and I get kicked out with a stop loss, or I lose. Let's say I'm willing to lose just $100 on this. So that means my stop loss would be not 707, it would be 607, right? But somebody in the chat said something about slippage, right? There's a such thing as slippage, meaning your option, it could blow past your stop loss. So like, let's say this thing just dropped and it went to, my stop loss is on 607, right? It dropped to 600. So then there's like a $7 slip, and I might have missed that. So I can put my stop loss a tad higher to kind of account for any kind of slippage. So I'm gonna go put a stop loss on her. And then I'm gonna walk away. I'm not gonna babysit her. I got a little bit of time for this to play out. Now, if I was in a trade that was gonna expire today, oh yeah, I'm watching the charts like a hawk. But since I got a little bit of time on this, the markets is overall showing some strength. I'm willing to risk $100. So I'm putting a stop loss on it. I'm gonna set it to good until cancel, not day, good to cancel. And I'm gonna put it on 6, let's say 10, 609. Excuse me, 609. So if there's a $2 slip, then I'll be all right. And I'll get out under with a $100 loss, and that'll be it. No fear in my heart. I know what I'm willing to lose. I'm willing to lose $100. I pre-planned it. I pre-set it. I'm not trading with my heart. If I lost 100, I'd be like, you know what? And I want y'all to really hear me on this. If I lose $100 on this trade, that's part of the plan. It just didn't go the other way that the plan should have went. What happens when you lose big is there's no plan. There's no plan. You understand what I'm saying? Yo, Keenan, you mean you meant to lose 100? I meant to limit my losses to 100. I meant to limit my losses to 100. So if I did lose, I'd be all right. I'm going to get into another trade. I'm going to make 100 back easy. Rather than trying to make $700 back. Now I only got to make $100 back. You see what I'm saying? I limit my losses. Limit them. So now let me post this to KG Trades as well. And then nowadays, I like giving y'all like a synopsis, right? Hold up. I told you I'm from the hood. Let me make sure I'm saying the right things. Hey Siri, define synopsis.
Synopsis.
Oh, come on, Siri. Hey Siri, define synopsis.
Synopsis means a brief summary or general survey of something.
That's exactly what I mean. A brief summary. So let me go ahead and do that. And I'm going to put it in the KGU chat. So this is a 5:20 call. It's June 7th, 2024. Risk level, I'll say medium because it's not like a 0 day to expire. I entered at 7:07. My stop loss is at 6:09. Profit SPY around, let's call it 500. And you know what? No need to guess, right? No need to guess. Why guess when you got the charts? You trade with the chart, not with your heart. Let's go look for some reasonable levels of resistance that could play out. I'm going to the 1 hour time frame, and we got a solid level of resistance at two of them. So first of all, it's 520. That's the first one. And then the second one is 521. Oh, but we got another tool. We got another tool. Family, let's use it. Let's use it today. Let's go over to Discord. And instead of doing the charts myself, I'm going to go and ask the AI bot, where are these resistances exactly? So AI technicals, I'm going to go \, and then I'm going to say TA, and then I see it pop up over here. Click. So now it's asking me at the bottom of the screen, what ticker? SPY. Enter. Tell me what we got. Where are these resistance levels at? It's a lot of people in the chat right now, so I got to scroll. There we go. So they're saying it's a resistance at 519, right? 519, that's the first one. And then the 52-week high is 524. That's going to be a crazy one. So 519, we want to break that, right? We want to break that. So I'm looking to target after a break of the resistance because I'm giving myself the time. I want to break above that first and second resistance. That would be great. But I can see where I'm going to struggle when we are in this range. The first resistance at 518.68 and 519.14. We break above that. So now I got that information. Now I can use it to inform myself. I'm on the 1 hour time frame. If I could break above that, then I could get to, and they're right. They're right. I just checked right now. This is a resistance. That 519.60. And then up here is the one, this will be the third one, but it only showed two. This would be 521.50. So then 521.50 is where I would want to take profit. All right, so I'm going to share this with you as well so you can see what I'm talking about in terms of what I'm doing and what I did. So yeah, I was saying that this would be the third one right here. So the bot told me about two of them. It told me about this one at the 518. It told me about this one at the 519. And then the third one would be this 521.50. So now I'm going to move over and show you this. Let me go to screenshots again. All right, so SPY. This is the 520 call, June 7th. Risk level, medium, because we gave ourselves some time. Entry, 707 is where I entered it. My initial stop loss is at 609, so what was that, $98? But there might slip, so it could basically $100 in risk. And then profit target around 521. But if we keep blowing past it, then you know how I take profit. I just move my stop loss higher and higher and higher, like a trailing stop loss. So then if this thing is at 528 and it don't kick me out and we have all-time highs on the SPY, I'll still be in the trade. I'll still be in the trade. So with that being said, family, this video has been jam-packed with information, jam-packed with information. So I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to go and have some tea. And I see y'all in the next one. Take care.